Welcome to Wednesday, June 26, 2024. Your DayWeather Podcast is being brought to you by Wyoming State Parks. Why wonder about the outdoors in Wyoming? Explore the statewide interactive outdoor recreation wonder map to find your next adventure. Well, the subtropical moisture is going to return northward today. So we're going to see much more activity with showers and thunderstorms. Yesterday, the showers and thunderstorms were more suppressed to the south on the western slope of Colorado into Utah, back into the southwestern United States, but the wind flow aloft is going to start to bring that moisture northward. So thunderstorms will occur further to the north today and tomorrow, and also they'll be more abundant along and east of the divide. So be ready for an uptick in shower and thunderstorm activity, and we're going to probably have a couple of days here, today in particular, where there's going to be some showers and thunderstorms that may be strong. Then, as we showed you yesterday, there's going to be a cold front coming Friday. This will come across the Pacific Northwest, the Northern Rockies, bringing cooler temperatures for Friday and Saturday. Unfortunately, some windy periods along the front. And what this front will do is just knock that moisture back down and put it back into the southwestern United States. It'll suppress it southward, but we'll probably see high pressure behind the front build back in. So by late Saturday and into Sunday and Monday, subtropical moisture comes back again. So there's going to be this back and forth between these frontal systems. In fact, there's going to be another frontal system probably just before the 4th of July. So the pattern is just repeating itself here over the next 7 days. Beautiful sunrises and sunsets here lately. Yesterday it was sunsets across the region. Now for today and for tomorrow, those sunsets will probably have some cumulonimbus clouds, some anvils, maybe some thunderstorm activity to take a photo of in the evenings in the next couple of days. Here's why. As you can see in the satellite imagery, that moisture now is further north, coming up out of Mexico through the southwestern United States. So this is going to lead to an uptick in shower and thunderstorm coverage with the moisture deeper and further to the north. And you can really see it on the water vapor now. And what you'll see is you'll get these axes of deeper moisture, and these will rotate in the upper level wind flow around the high. That's down here. So you're going to see the moisture, the thunderstorm activity go around in an arch just like this through the course of the next 48 hours. The high pressure is right over southwestern areas of New Mexico, so the clockwise flow is just coming right around, bringing that moisture in. Here's the next cold front that's coming in on Friday. Yesterday, for those that you saw the podcast, we showed you this little dimple going around the high pressure ridge. This little dimple is an upper level wave or disturbance. And another way to describe this in meteorological terms is what's called a vorticity maximum. This is something that's going to enhance the thunderstorm coverage today, especially in this area. This is basically, this little dimple is a perturbation in the pressure field, and it's a little bit more complicated than that. We call these vorticity maximums. Now 500 millibars is at 18,000 feet roughly, and what we're seeing, that little dimple is right there. So it's coming up out of the Four Corners area into western areas of Colorado. Now, what you have in these situations is you have a spinning column of air. That spinning column of air causes the air to rise and rotate counterclockwise as it goes through. And you can see there's other little vorticity maximums, and you can see there's a lot more with that west coast low coming into Washington and Oregon. Now this one's just kind of sitting on its own, and it's going around a high pressure ridge. But with subtropical moisture in the flow and strong daytime heating, this is going to add lift to this area right here later this afternoon and evening. And if you look at the definition, this vorticity discussion can get really complicated. But basically, just think of it as a twisty motion in the atmosphere. And in meteorological standpoints, when you have twisty motions in the air that are rising vertically, that really enhances the weather. That enhances the chance for precipitation. It also enhances the risk for severe weather. You have two areas of motion. Ahead of these vorticity maximums, ahead of them, you have a rising, spinning column of air. you have on the back side of them spinning, sinking columns of air. So the weather forms ahead of these vorticity maximums. It clears behind them. So when we see this system right here early today in the Four Corners area and expect it to be over here by afternoon and evening, well, that's why we're going to see a risk of severe weather in some areas. Here you can see the subtropical moisture by later this afternoon. Where you see the blue, you're more than 170% of average. And see the pink right here, some very deep subtropical moisture, and it's all rotating around that high, and that vorticity maximum is right here. So here's going to be your thunderstorm activity. And this is the axis right here where we think there's going to be some really strong thunderstorms, or at least the potential of that today. But look at all the thunderstorm activity west of the divide, and this is going to be in place tomorrow. And here's your slight risk. You see how it goes right along where this system is going to be early this morning and where it's going to be this afternoon. So we need to watch out for that today. And yes, unfortunately, there is a hail risk, something we'll need to keep an eye on. Here's the subtropical moisture tomorrow, plenty deep, widespread again, and so we're going to have 2 more days of busier thunderstorm activity further to the north now, and both sides of the Continental Divide. That's your severe risk for tomorrow. A little bit further out onto the plains, but also further north as well. As we get into Friday, that Pacific trough that you saw here goes across Montana, southern Alberta, and British Columbia, then goes right across the plains. This will drag a cool front through. The strong pressure gradient right here is going to make it windy along the divide. Both sides of the divide really, but especially along and east of the mountains. So you get up to Clark, as you get up to Cody, as you get down to areas along and just east of the mountains, this little wave will cause the wind to pick up again. The high pressure ridge gets pressed down, so does the subtropical moisture. So you can see the front, see the dry air behind it? That will suppress the deeper moisture further south. Now, there's going to be thunderstorms in this moisture here, but a drying trend up here on Friday. That will also usher in some cooler temperatures and suppress those thunderstorms, but there's still going to be an active axis of thunderstorms into these areas on Friday, but you can see the drier conditions coming in from the northwest. Cooler air as well. These are temperature anomalies by noon Saturday. The cooler air is hung up on the divide, but you can see across the Dakotas here, Montana, parts of Wyoming and northeast Colorado, well, the weekend starts off a little bit cooler. The heat gets suppressed down here. Going to be plenty hot down there. But up here, the further north and northwest you go, temperatures will be a little bit more moderate. By Sunday, that wave is in the Great Lakes. Here's the high pressure building north again. So moisture comes back. But this front will come in off the Pacific Northwest and give us the repeating pattern. The front will come through. This will likely come through Monday and Tuesday. That will bring breezy conditions, cooler temperatures, suppress the moisture in the high back to the south again. Then the question will be is when does the high rebound? Does it rebound for the 4th of July weekend and bring thunderstorms back, or will the drier air give us a dry 4th of July? We'll just have to keep an eye on that as we get a little closer. Have yourself a good Wednesday. We'll see you tomorrow.